Hey, what's up everyone? This is my Animal Crossing New Horizons impressions video. So right off the bat, this is going to be a little bit different than my typical video. I say typical even though I only have 2 videos out, where I'm not going to go in with a script of any kind. I'm kind of just going to feel out how I'm feeling, tell you my thoughts on Animal Crossing, and yeah, so let's get this going. So I've been kind of on a roller coaster with this game. I started out being really excited going into this game. I got it, the first couple days were great, having some fun. Then I started, thinking less of the game, and then I started liking it more. And then I started liking it less, and now I'm kind of liking it more again. I've kind of just been flip-flopping back and forth on it. Especially, I love Animal Crossing on the GameCube and New Leaf. I've played both of those games quite a lot, especially GameCube. I would say that one's probably my favorite, although New Leaf might also be up there. But anyway, I think a couple things about this game in particular are really affecting my play experience. So I guess I'll start out with some of the things that are, new to this game that I've noticed that don't seem to match the other ones. The first thing is it starts out really slow, and I think that's why I actually started falling out of it at the beginning. It takes you multiple days to get almost anything of your island together, whereas in old games you kind of came into an island that already existed. There's only 2 villagers, there's no museum, you have to wait. It took us like 3 days to get the museum. The town hall isn't there, you can't even access about half the island, or at least a quarter of the island, until a few days in. You don't have a shovel for the first few days. It's just very slow at the beginning. It's definitely more slow of a burn than previous titles. But once I got past all that, I was starting to really enjoy it again. Just because, first of all, the game looks beautiful. Graphically, it's the best Animal Crossing. I don't think anyone could disagree with that, really. And the customization is much better in this game than in previous titles. Especially decorating your house. The new house decoration tools, where you go into designer mode and you can place stuff on the walls, move stuff around your house really easily. It's incredible. Should have been in there for a long time. I would have to assume that Happy Home Designer helped push them towards that point. And same with just being able to put stuff outside. In New Leaf, everything that was outside was based on like a public works project, where you had to go to Isabelle, you'd unlock it, tell her that you want to build it. It costs like 100,000 bells. The town would have to raise it together. In this, you can just place furniture outside, which is really awesome. And it lets you really customize your world a lot more than in previous titles. And I think that's what they were really shooting for in this game, is that level of customization. It's everything from like you getting to pick where all your villagers live by allocating housing locations. You, later in the game, I haven't gotten to this point, but you get to reshape the terrain and water. You pick where stores go. You pick where furniture goes. You can relocate your house. You locate your house the first time. You can place things inside, outside. The clothing looks way better. They have advanced clothing decorations, like the custom designs. They have Custom Design Pro, so that you can do even more intense, customized, unique outfits. And some of the ones that I've seen online of people making are just insane. They're amazing. Those are I think the main draws to this game, is that insane level of customization. We started building a park over in the side of our town, just because we thought we had some cute stuff. We had a slide and some fence pieces, and it's just really cute, looks nice, and that is something that I really like about this game, and it drew me back in once I had access to all of these things, and I had full access to the whole island, and things like that. What started at the beginning drawing me out of it is, it seems, at least to me, that some of that customization is kind of a drawback, in some ways. In that, I really love, in the old games, just having things set the way they were. Especially because I don't have the abilities right now to customize the layout of the island. I end up just placing things where I think it would work best now, but then I end up feeling like I want to move it later. Whereas in old games, that's where it was. It had a spot for it. Even if villagers moved in, like the villagers got to pick, I don't have to worry about it. There's a surprise when villagers came. Most of our villagers, you either have to invite them for mystery tours, they come to the campsite and you invite them, or something similar to that end. We've had one villager move in that was uninvited, and it was really exciting, and even still he went to a pre-allocated location that we designated as a housing spot. I guess that they want to do that so that they don't ruin your plans of if I want to move the park over there and they just put their house down, that'd kind of suck. Even though I believe you can relocate any building in the entire place and no one's going to care. One of the other things that I've been really getting frustrated with this game is the tools all have a durability. Basically, so your fishing rod, your axe, your shovel, your bug net, I believe are the only ones. Maybe your watering can, not sure. I haven't broken it yet. Oh, and the slingshot breaks. Yeah, all of these things break pretty frequently, to be honest. The flimsy fishing rod at the beginning and the flimsy bug net only catch 10 things before they break. Of course, you can get the more advanced ones, but even the more advanced ones don't last incredibly longer. I don't know exactly how long. Maybe like 30 bugs and 30 fish. But they break pretty frequently, and you're constantly being asked to find new crafting materials. So you have to go back to a workbench. So you have to, if you have a workbench only on the right hand of the island, you have to go get crafting materials for a fishing rod, which is like 5 sticks and iron ingot if you want the advanced one that doesn't break as easily. Then you have to walk all the way across the island, build the flimsy one, and then build the regular one, all just to go back to your fishing spot so you can continue doing what you were doing and were abruptly taken out of because of this durability. And then once you get to your fishing spot, maybe you'll see a bug and catch it, and then it just so happens that that was the last bug you could catch, and then your bug net breaks. So you have to do the whole thing again, except you have to go craft a bug net. And that's really an issue because you can't actually see what the durability of any of your things are, so you kind of just have to best guess in your mind how durable you think it is, and if you want to improve it now to ensure that it's not going to break on you shortly. So far I've played the game about 25 to 30 hours. My girlfriend has also played about 50 hours, and we've both broken about 50 of our tools. So even if each tool took about a minute to get the materials, go to the workbench, come back, and pretend that it never happened, like to be all of the time it takes, even if that only took a minute, you would still be 50 minutes. So basically an hour of my 25-hour playtime is dedicated towards just remaking tools I already own. It's just incredibly frustrating. I don't want to have to spend 1/25th of my time just making stuff that I already own and being taken out of this good experience. One of the things that's especially frustrating with the durability is if your fishing rod does break, or your bug net or something, and you see a fish or a bug that looks like it'd be really special, you basically have to lose it because you don't have one right now and you have to go get the materials and craft it. I have, on numerous occasions, gone by some big looking fish in rivers or in the ocean that I think are some actual good fish that I don't have yet or will sell for many bells, and I can't catch them because my fishing rod just broke when I caught a sea bass on the last pull. One of the other things I've been noticing about this game that I don't know how this is going to pan out. So much of this is hard to say long term because the game just changes over time, over months of gameplay. I think that the lack of number of shops and the lack of like a town square kind of thing that New Leaf had, well, there is a town square, but it only has like the reception center where you can go build stuff. I mean like how New Leaf had that strip mall. The lack of all these shops, like the clothing shops at the very beginning, and there's no more shoe store. Doesn't seem like there's going to be many stores in this game, and if there are, I'm going to have to find a place for them all. A lot of people just come in on a random day and will sell shoes, like Kix comes in on a random day of the week, or 2 random days of the week, and just sells shoes. I don't know that he's ever going to have a store. And I think just the lack of these stores is something that I don't particularly like as much. But, I mean, time will tell. Maybe they'll open a store. That's how the Mabel sisters work in this game. They have nothing. They come in twice a week, and then after like a week, they just make a store. But it's really hard to say because everything's such a slow burn in this game. So, this is probably how New Leaf works as well, but I never played it this way. But as well, I'm also player 2 of this island, which means that I'm not the first person that turned it on our console and loaded up the island. So I share this island with my girlfriend, who's the island resident, as they call it. Basically what that means is I can't do almost anything that progresses the story, brings characters in explicitly, whether it's like building housing locations for villagers or getting an NPC to show up as like a store. Just some examples, like I can't build bridges, I can't build inclines, I couldn't build the campsite, I couldn't place the Mabel sisters, I couldn't make the Mabel sisters place, I couldn't build housing lots for people to move into, I can't do a bunch of other stuff. I can't remember what else. But basically, if you want anything that's going to affect the island as a whole, you can't do it as player 2. And so thankfully, my girlfriend has been playing the game and really enjoying it. But there was like 4 days or 3 days that she decided not to play. And I just thought that the island was done. Like, nothing was happening on any of the days, basically. I was getting like DIY projects and stuff, but nothing intense. Then the day she comes back, she talks to Tom Nook, and Tom Nook is like, we have so much stuff to do. We have to build a campsite, get people to move in, you have to build housing lots, so we can get KK Slider here. Which, none of that was said to me. Whenever I would talk to Tom Nook, he just said I was doing great, nothing I could do, might as well just decorate my house and stuff. So none of that would have ever happened if she came, and as far as I'm aware, if she wanted to stop playing, there's no way to transfer that island residency to me. There's no way I could ever progress anything on the island unless I just loaded up on her account or I deleted the entire island and started from scratch, which I don't want to do either of those things. I just think that they could have made a better effort to actually giving both people on the island control, or at least like having some sort of way to protect the other players from having negative effects of the primary resident not playing if they decide to stop. Along with this, it's been kind of weird because I haven't played on an Animal Crossing island with someone since the GameCube, when I had my sister on there, my other family that played less frequently. But this game, because there's crafting involved, all of the trees and rocks have a set number of resources that can be allocated out a day. So if I'm the first person to play and I chop all the trees, and then my girlfriend gets on and is trying to make something that uses wood, and she's chopping the trees, I have already expended the resources of the trees. So she can't get anything out of the trees, meaning she has to go to a mystery island or something like that, which just doesn't feel fair, because then it's just like the person who wakes up in the morning and gets there first is going to get the resources, and is going to get the fossils in the ground, is going to get the resources out of the rocks, and there's not really anything the other player can do about that. And if you needed those resources, you're just going to have to find them elsewhere on a mystery island, which costs like 2,000 Nook miles, and that's kind of hard to come by, especially in the later parts of the game, when you've gotten all the basic ones done with. And because this game is so crafting heavy, like to make the advanced fishing rod, for instance, you need an iron ingot, which comes from rocks. So if I take all of the iron ingots for the day, and she doesn't have any Nook miles, she can only have a flimsy fishing rod, and that's going to break after every 10 fish. If she's trying to catch a really hard fish like the string fish or something, then she's going to have to just craft a ton of fishing rods, and it's going to be really annoying. So I think overall I've been liking the crafting. There's a couple inconveniences, like mostly the durability of the tools is really breaking it for me, but also like the limitability of like the resources, and also you can only craft one thing at a time. So this is mostly annoying when you're getting fish bait. If you want to catch something and you're trying to get fish bait and you want to make sure to stock up at least 20 fish baits, you first have to catch 20 manila clams to turn into fish bait. That's fine, reasonable. I understand, you need the resources. But then once you have those 20, you go to the workbench and you want to craft 20, but you can only do one at a time. So you have to click craft on the fishing bait, watch a whole animation, do it again, watch a whole animation, do it again, 20 times in a row. It just takes a long time to catch like 20 manila clams and craft them all. It takes like half an hour to 40 minutes. It depends on how quickly you can find the clams. It just can take a really long time. Just the simple ability to say, I want 20 of these, and just have them all craft at once, and you just save a lot of time and would not feel nearly as annoying and tedious. One of the big things that was pushed at the trailers of this game was the whole co-op functionality, and playing with people, online and offline, sharing an island together. And I think that while it's kind of neat, you can't really do nearly as much as you want to with the co-op, especially local co-op. Local co-op is where I was really disappointed. First of all, the second player, who's not the leader, can't even have an inventory. If you pick up anything or catch anything, it goes right to this box in the middle of town square, where any other person that is a human player on the island can just take the stuff. The second player and the first player can't open menus at the same time either, so I can't, well, first of all, I can't open my phone, but I can't even open my reactions panel while they're opening their phone, or anything like that. No two menus can be open at once, which is just really weird and annoying. Ultimately, most of the time you just kind of get in each other's way. It's fun going in, like, into the museum and looking at stuff in the museum together, but if you're trying to like really play and decorate your house and go talk to Tom Nook and sell your stuff, it's kind of just an inconvenience for the other person to be there, as you just have to make sure that they're kind of following you, otherwise they're going off screen and then they have to warp over to you. You can stand in each other's ways, sort of. It just doesn't feel right. It feels kind of rushed. And as for like the online multiplayer, everything's pretty fine, other than just how long it takes to make the other people connect to each other. When someone comes to join an island, you have to watch like a minute-long cutscene of them loading and connecting, departing, arriving at the airport, and coming out. I was in a server to try and sell my turnips, and there were 7 people trying to get on the island, and it was just loading screen after loading screen after loading screen. It just took so long. It took me literally probably like an hour to just get to this island, sell my bells, and get out. It was absolutely terrible, because there was a cutscene for people leaving the island, coming to the island. Each one was like a minute. We were all colliding with each other in like a 1-lane path and couldn't get through. Had to wait for everyone. It was just such a huge mess. I think basically what this game has been making me want to do is, I've been playing a lot of New Leaf since I started playing this game, and I don't know what exactly about it, but whenever I want to play Animal Crossing, I kind of just want to go back to New Leaf over this game. I still play this, and I still am enjoying it, and I think when I start it up again, I'm going to really start enjoying it, but there's just a lot of little things that bug me about this. I think a lot of it has to do with the lack of like NPC buildings and just the crafting being so tedious, especially for like getting the required components for your tools. And then also just not being able to do things like build a bridge if I want, or build an incline to a place. It just kind of all adds up and is kind of weird that I wouldn't have those capabilities. But yeah, we're gonna keep playing, see how things go, and then in the future at some point make an actual review once I have some actual time spent with this game and can do a full detail. So anyway, that was longer than I expected. I was anticipating this being about 10 minutes and it turned into 20. So yeah, you know my Animal Crossing thoughts. Thanks for watching. If you came this far, that's incredible. Why don't you click the like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for future content every Friday, or at least once a week. Thank you. Have a good one.